course, who's not horny?
My Mars is going over my Venus, and that's why I'm horny.
Are you recording this?
Yes.
Oh.
That's funny you say that. I thought it was because I'm a Scorpio. But, maybe it's because I'm a priest, and
It's because you're a male.
I'm a male, yes. So,
Males are always horny.
yeah.
It's called testosterone.
Well, men are dogs for sure. So tell me what you see in my chart.
Well, Mars has been going over your Venus, which Venus is the heart. Venus is the heart, but Mars is sex or testosterone. So
I thought it was war.
Well, that's because people are stupid, and they think that testosterone has only one use, and that's war. Mars is look at that.
That makes sense. Testosterone is sex too. Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. And people that are not getting laid that want to kill people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to kill anybody, but
but look at that's a symbol of Mars.
Yes, I get it. I get it.
That
Okay.
looks like
yes,
a missile
it's the male symbol.
Or it looks
it's
like
the male
erection.
symbol.
You know
Okay,
I mean?
okay.
It's a male symbol because it looks like an erection.
Okay, I got you. Straight up.
Yeah.
Now, what else?
Well, anyway, Mars going over your Venus for the last week or two would mean there's a lot of sexual energy coming your way. I mean, people are flirting with you or something. But,
yeah, they do.
But lately, there's been a peak of it. But anyway, it's moving on.
Trying to get the screen at the same time as you explaining it. So.
Oh, okay. You want to see that?
Yeah. So if you could keep it that way. Go ahead.
I'm just looking at the major transits. Now, you had your second Saturn return recently.
My second Saturn return, yes.
Because you are like 59, is that right?
Right.
So Saturn takes 29 years to go around. So I'm going to look at it from the heliocentric perspective because this is kind of a big deal, the Saturn return. It's interesting because what happens every 29 years, Saturn goes around. So we have 4 Saturn cycles if you live to be 116, which is usually when the oldest person in the world dies, they're 116. So I call it the first Saturn cycle till 29 is the springtime of your life, and the second Saturn cycle till you're 58 is the summer of your life, and then the third Saturn cycle from 58 to 87 is the autumn of your life, and then 87 to 116 is the winter of your life when you kind of hibernate. And so it's kind of like the third Saturn cycle that just began for you. It's kind of when you retire. I mean, you did it right at the beginning.
I did retire August 9th.
And everybody retires pretty much between 58 and 87.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's when the leaves fall. You know what I mean? It's the autumn.
Right.
It's like now. And so you're beginning a whole new chapter in your life.
I am.
And you can see it. It's different. Instead of, how long did you have that job?
22 years?
Yeah, that's like most of that second Saturn cycle.
Exactly.
And it's really been 4 months since your Saturn return, or 3.5 months.
Yes, it has.
And that's about when you retired, right?
Yes, exactly.
You retired exactly
August 9th.
Yeah, you retired.
What was the day exactly in there?
Okay, let's take a look.
Just out of curiosity.
Okay.
To see how in tune I was.
Well, let's.
With the flow.
Okay, let's go back a couple months. So Saturn. Okay, that's going the wrong way. See how I'm moving this Saturn back?
Yes.
Okay, we need to go forward some more. Oops, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? There we go. So, August 22nd was your Saturn return.
August 22nd, so I was a bit early, but...
When did you retire?
August 9th.
Close enough in 29-year cycle. Yeah. So there are other cycles
Okay.
too besides just that one.
Sure.
But on August 22nd, you began your autumn season, and that's cool.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, it's all
Carry
right.
on.
So I'm going to go back to. Oops.
You were saying heliocentric.
Yeah, I'm looking at the helio because this is everything continues to move forward all the time heliocentrically. From this perspective, it goes back and forth because the Earth is not the center of the circle.
It actually is, but go on.
Well, then this whole thing is bullshit.
Well, it's based on. I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, from the sun's perspective.
Yeah.
But if you're right, these numbers are not correct. Then
They do work.
yeah. So anyway, let's just look at your heliocentric chart by itself. October 28th, 62.
Yep.
11:11 p.m.
Yep.
How cosmic. So you were born in a time when there was a lot of planetary opposition. Uranus was conjuncting Pluto, with, in this case, the Sun in the middle here, and Jupiter conjuncting Chiron on the opposite side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 celestial bodies in a line. And in this case, we're looking at it from the
stellium.
Sun's perspective, where it's an opposition of 2 against 2. Uranus opposite Pluto is spiritual liberation, or Pluto you can also look at as power. Liberation from the power structure would be on one side. And in the 60s, this was a time of the, growing, the birth of the counterculture and the anti-war movement and things of that nature, because you had, and Saturn was going to join that opposition about 3 years later. In like 65 was kind of the peak of that energy when you had add another planet to it, 6 planets. But anyway, so it was freedom from the power structure. And this, on one side, you have spiritual wisdom, or healing wisdom, actually, shamanic wisdom. Chiron means healing, Jupiter is wisdom. Opposite to the spiritual liberation is what this really is, but it's also liberation from the power structure. So does this make sense? What I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? Eric the Healer, shaman. Come on.
Yeah, this means shamanic healing.
Well, there's the proof right there.
To heal from evil use of power. Jupiter opposite Pluto.
And I'm attacking the evil use of power.
Yeah, Pluto is
no
power
shit.
and Jupiter is goodness, and they're opposite.
Yeah.
Virtue, not virtue. You know what I mean? Not virtue is power.
I'm bringing down the
and
deep
healing
state cabal.
healing from the non-virtuous, and liberation. So we got the energy of liberation from power structure, and that was going on in the 60s. And Jupiter, Chiron, shamanic wisdom as the opposing force to the power structure that needs to be liberated. And so that's going on there. Now, this Neptune is trine to that Jupiter, which means intuitive. This is intuitive wisdom, intuitive shamanic wisdom that flows naturally, that you've already got. Maybe it comes from, where did you show me that video was about? What?
Arcturian.
Arcturian. Maybe that's Arcturian universal wisdom.
That is.
Healing wisdom.
It is.
And Saturn square the Neptune means that a structure or system or organization must be put in place for that subconscious or universal collective unconscious, because it doesn't have a structure yet. You're here to create that. But this has to do with Saturn, with government structures or other kinds of organizing principles or laws or rules. And this being a square to Neptune, of the rules of the subconscious. Like, for example, astrology is an example of an organizing model, a model of how the subconscious mind is organized. And so, so this is the subconscious, this is the order that is being created. And I don't know if that made sense, but
Oh, it makes complete sense.
okay, cool. And then these trines, these are gifts also, besides the universal shamanic wisdom coming from Arcturus, apparently. This is Earth conjunct Venus, which is the manifestation or embodiment of love here, or love or money, because Venus is all transactions between people. And this flows from Mercury's communication or language, and Uranus is liberation. And so changing the language of the manifestation of love, if that makes any sense. For example, the sex bot cruises. And
Well, just money and
yeah, liberation of money. Communication comes easily from the heart.
communication. Yes,
This would be good for writing or poetry or
yes.
music.
Got to finish that book.
Yeah, is communicating from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And the manifestation or liberation of the physical world through that. So that's also cool. Anyway, those are some things going on in your heliocentric chart. We probably didn't ever look at that before. And looking at now the transits to that. So we just had, like I said, the Saturn return. So your retirement marked the end of your summer of your life. And now the autumn. And so you think about, well, I'm going to sail away on this yacht, or I'm going to do this or that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you're beginning your autumn plan. And Jupiter is now going over Chiron again. Every 12 years, Jupiter goes around. So, at 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60. So Jupiter's almost back here. And this means a new level of understanding or healing wisdom is about to pour in, because you're beginning your next Jupiter cycle or wisdom cycle or belief cycle. You know how people go through different belief systems, like from 0 to 12, they have their
Sure.
childhood belief system from going to Sunday school or whatever. And then they have their belief system from 12 to 24 and 24 to 36, 36 to 48. Now 48 to 60 is coming to an end. So this will be right now shamanic wisdom upgrading to the next level of understanding and wisdom.
Yes.
And shedding any false opinions or beliefs that may have been hanging around.
Good.
And healing them. And also your Chiron on Jupiter going by would be other people's beliefs also that you may have to deal with.
It's from my life.
Well, there'll be a peak of it in the next couple months.
There sure is. Okay.
Anyway, because that's
you're
getting
going
ready
down
to the upgrade of your
exactly.
Of your wisdom.
It's going down, and
Jupiter opposite Pluto generally, and Chiron opposite Pluto means wounded spirits. Wounded. Pluto being spirit, wounded or dysfunctional aliens and entities and their beliefs. And so there's a focus on. And you know what I mean by that? Like,
yes.
There's a lot of. Pluto opposite Jupiter is evil spirits. You know what I mean? That you have to deal with.
I do. I do deal with evil spirits.
Like we were just talking about someone on the phone with Rebecca.
Exactly. Black pyramids and whatever.
Yeah. But like that stuff that was going on with our mutual friend of Rebecca's.
Yes, I understand. It was, and I agreed. Let's not say any names anymore.
That's why I didn't.
Yeah.
But this is a time when to help people with their false beliefs or their possessions or entities or whatever.
That definitely
need to be
been just burning the sage in Hollywood.
It's a good time.
Palo Santo.
Good time for some exorcisms.
I get the problem cases.
Yeah, so that's happening big time right now.
It is.
And let's see what's going on down at the bottom. I can't see.
Yeah, that is a problem case, and I was kind of sucked into that, literally.
Yes. No comment on that So the Earth is going over your Mars in 8 days, 7 or 8. So this means Mars is, as you can see by the symbol that looks like an erection, it means desire or lust or passion.
Uh-huh.
When it's frustrated, it goes and joins an army and kills people or something. But it's just really just plain old lust. It's testosterone energy.
Uh-huh.
And the Earth is going to go over that Mars position. It's just gone over the Pallas Athena, which is more the female version of this.
Okay.
This is the root chakra energy. This is the second chakra energy. This generally means co-creation, like conceiving of something.
Can you point exactly where on the chart?
So Mars means like...
Where's that on the chart there?
You see it?
Where? Can you point with your finger?
Yeah.
Oh, there. Yeah, okay.
Can you see this cursor going around?
Yes, I can. No, I couldn't.
You couldn't see that? Okay. I thought my eyes were bad, but that's Mars right there. And Pallas Athena is one of the asteroids. And
Sure.
she represents... She's the goddess of art and culture.
Oh, great.
And she represents the creative process. For example, she's the root chakra. That's where you make babies. And this represents the combining of seeds to make an offspring.
Awesome. Good.
Now, I'm not saying you're going to father a child right
Well,
now, but what I'm saying is
who knows?
this this is a symbol of the male and female seeds to co-create.
Uh-huh. When is that happening?
Offspring. Well, the Earth's it's right in between them right now. So it means this is a time of co-creation.
Okay.
And that usually takes two.
It does.
You know what I mean? So this is a
Yeah.
time of co-creation with 1, 2, or any number of projects could be co-created.
Sure.
What would you like? For example, just even talking about, well, how about a sex bot ship? You know what I mean? So that could be to manifest something of that
Mhm.
nature, but that may just be a metaphor of something else.
Mhm.
It seems to be a metaphor of everything that's going on the planet right now,
Yeah.
where people are being systematically turned into bots.
Yeah. To clarify, I wanted robots, but
Oh, you don't
I
want
mean, they
sex
sure.
bots?
Well, I guess they could have that option, but I would like robots to
Yeah.
navigate the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're sex bots, I don't want them leaving the job, their post. To
Oh, they
I
got
want them on
on
call.
duty all the time. You
Yes,
want
I don't
having
want them
multiple
because they don't
functions.
eat or sleep and they can sail the ship. I don't want them having sex with my passengers.
Really?
So,
People will pay
well,
more
I'm
for
sure we'll
that.
have maybe some extra ones for you there. So don't
Thank
worry,
you. Yeah.
we'll get some.
Well, I won't need that. I'll have
But you want the Japanese version or
the
the?
human, well, not Japanese, but
Okay, well,
Asian in
okay.
general.
We'll see. We'll see what the options are for you. I'll get you one.
Okay. Oh, I already have one. So,
Okay.
although a bot, that's another thing.
Yeah, but yours is probably plastic blow up.
Mine is actually seems human, actually, so far. Anyway, she seems flesh and blood, but
Oh, your real one down south.
yeah, my
Oh,
real
good,
one, my real
good,
one.
awesome,
Flesh
awesome.
and blood. Flesh and blood is nice too.
Oh, it's there's no other way for me. So
So, but anyway, something is manifesting now through this co-creative process.
okay,
When
and it
you-
could be meaning me doing work and producing work.
You
Book,
co-creating something.
making a book,
So this
co-creating.
when I say co-creation, it's like when John Lennon and Paul McCartney write a song together, or
I am working with several people on projects, so that I understand.
yeah,
Okay,
that's a
Good,
good way
that's
for you
it.
to work.
that
You know,
is.
to give birth to things.
We are creating.
You know,
So on many different levels, I'm creating projects.
it's
So
like people are asking me. I'm
A
getting all
handful of
these calls
projects.
from people, including the one I had this morning from Carlton. She's like, "Let's
Mm-hmm.
co-create an event in Sedona," and we're figuring out the date and
Mhm.
cost and things like that.
exactly, I'm in.
So it's co-creation time, and you're trying to decide who your co-creator. You were telling me
Exactly.
about 3 or 4 different options
Exactly.
that you had, and it's the important thing in this equation isn't just how sexy they are, or it's more like, can they handle the role of co-creating with you?
Right.
Does
And
that make sense?
that's why, yes, it does. That's why I'm seeing who steps up to work, and I just leave it open. And
It's like, what?
but
is
that's
the-
on another level. I'm talking about other projects, not just you keep jumping back to sex, but I
well,
understand.
it's the metaphor that's
It
appropriate.
is. It
it's
is.
like who,
Yeah.
and when I said John and Paul or John and Yoko,
Right.
they never list themselves as the author of a song. It's
Yeah.
always John and somebody else. You know
Did
what
I
I mean?
tell you I French kissed Yoko and I got excited? she was
God.
she was with her sons Sean and John or whatever.
Sean and Julian.
Julian, yeah, Julian. They were
Well, Julian was the child of another,
yeah.
Cynthia.
Well, they were there playing at the theater, and I was having a nice long conversation with Yoko, and we were talking about how the other Beatles were treating her and stuff. And
Was what year was this we're talking about?
this was 84, 85. Everything happened in 85. It seems to me that was. We should another day. I'd like you to talk about 85 and see because that was a powerful year for me.
Right on.
Trump traveling back in time to meet me and
Yeah.
and me meeting the Princess Diana and John F. Kennedy Jr.
Yikes.
and everybody. I met everybody in '85. It was like wow,
A big year.
that was a big year.
Let's
It
see.
was
What year were you born again?
62.
So you would have been like 33
No,
in 8. Oh, 23.
yeah,
Sorry, 23.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, right now is a time for joint ventures would be another way to but I use the metaphor of conceiving of some offspring. you know,
okay,
together right
yeah.
now. You know what I mean? So and there's anyway, you've got like another week or two of this conception process.
Okay, good. I'm whipping it out. The book.
The book.
The book.
Is someone helping you with the book?
The book. No,
Whipping it out.
I gotta whip the book out. I'm out whipping my dick out. Okay. So.
Well, how are you going to co-create without whipping your dick out?
Well,
you know?
I don't know. Now those aren't those other ones I was thinking about. I don't think they want any more kids, but who knows?
Well, kids is a metaphor. Like,
yeah.
If you like, I used the metaphor. If you wrote a song with a partner,
Sure, that's what I'm saying. I am working on projects.
or if you created this cruise ship project,
Yeah.
or a community.
I think there'll be several ships actually. So I think we'll have a couple ships.
Yeah, but anyway, that's kind of
Yeah.
the nature of the time from
Yeah.
the heliocentric perspective. And then I'm gonna change this back to Geo.
Yeah, the ship I wanted, they sold, so they're making another one, and I don't want it to be the fourth one. That's a bad number for me. That could be my friendship. I want the fifth one.
Friendship.
Hey, I like that friendship.
That's a great name for a ship. The Friendship.
Yeah, the friendship. That'll be his name of his boat. The friendship. Mine's gonna be the no shit. No shit.
Ship.
No shit ship.
No shit Sherlock ship.
No shit Sherlock ship. That's a good one. No SS. No. I'll come up with a good name.
Okay, so here's interestingly, I don't know if we've talked about this in your chart, but right along the ascendant is Mars. This makes you a warrior.
I am a warrior.
And opposite to Saturn, which is the forces of control. You know what I mean? Fighting against the forces of control.
I am fighting against the forces of control. How awesome is that? How
It's like that's the central line.
it is. It's the baseline. It's my reason to be here.
Remember, get smart and
I do. I met them.
And
I met them all. I met him and Agent 99.
their organization was called Control, and they were fighting against chaos.
Exactly. I loved it. I love that show. I have the DVDs if you want to watch them.
Oh yeah, it was funny.
And
I used
then
to watch
the,
that as a child.
the Dome
as I
of
recall.
Silence and
The Dome of Silence. I remember that. Yeah.
and then the
It was-
phone in his
Yeah.
foot and
I
his
remember
shoe.
Barbara Felton was.
I met her. I love her.
Yeah.
I loved her. I told her I loved her.
So anyway, so this is the primary objective here, is to fight against control, and that Sun is the consciousness creating a new order out of that. Out of the thing that's flowing is the shamanic wisdom that
Yes,
helps you to be aware of what you're doing.
it does. It's funny, and I always knew I was a shaman, and had that wisdom.
and it's also Chiron is opposed to Vesta and Juno, which is Vesta's like the lover and Juno's like the wife, and Uranus is freedom, and it's opposite all that stuff. And so this means liberation from suffering for the lovers and partners, because it probably means a lot of these women, like the one we were just talking about, are kind of wounded. You know what I mean? Broken.
Right.
Fixing the broken
Yeah.
lovers and partners.
Yeah.
That need to reclaim their power.
Yeah.
Like the one we were just talking about. I mean,
My ex-wife too.
Yeah, they've been living under kind of oppressive circumstances.
Yeah.
And they're being liberated right now from
They are.
corporations and families and tribes that are crazy. And so this is part
So
of
where's that? Can you point with your finger on the chart
Sure.
where that is?
So this is Chiron opposite Uranus. Chiron is healing or wounds, wounded healer or whatever. This is shamanic because it's Jupiter healing the belief system. You know, like a lot of what you have to show people is that they're being, like this whole scamdemic thing is just a belief system.
Right.
It's nothing there, or it's just a belief.
Right.
Like I believe people are dangerous, so I have to shield myself from humans. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's weird. But that's a belief. And this is a belief that makes you not free, because that's freedom there. And this belief, this unfree belief, needs to be healed consciously, and particularly as it affects relationships like lovers and partners and mothers. These are all the asteroids that are all part of this liberation process. These are all feminine principles here that have to reclaim their power, because they've all given away their power. Like, for example, a friend that we talked about giving away power to a husband, for example. People do that for money or security or a job. You know, like, well, both you and that person both liberated yourself from major organizations and corporations. And
right.
Like that. You know what I mean? Lately, this
yes.
is coming to a head. And it's all about healing the belief system, you know, that put you in that orbit in the first place. And so this is part of your purpose here, is to shed light, that's the sun right there, on this whole conflict. And again, in the 60s, this was what the 60s was about.
Right.
Like the Vietnam War, and what was that war about? Heroin, growing poppies, just like Afghanistan was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, to shed light on that is like, why are we there? Why are we doing this? Why are we giving away our power? Why are we killing people for this? You know? And so this whole thing is reclaiming power from the people, the stupid, you know, the wounded belief system people. And that's what that means there. Liberation. And then there's so much feminine energy in here. The mother, the lover, the wife energy. And then this is the co-creative energy over here, which is also in a strong position right above the horizon. This is one of your leading things, has to do with, because this is the strongest thing in a chart, is what's coming up on the horizon, like the sun at sunrise. This is co-creation again, Pallas Athena.
And it's in Cancer, huh?
Yes. And it means someone who's like co-creating, like an artist or someone in a band or someone collaborating on a movie or something like that. It's like it's a tribe, or it's a group, or it's a partnership of co-creative people. And Eris, we talked about Eris on the phone with Rebecca, I think I talked to. Today is the day the moon went over Eris about an hour ago, and this has to do with consequences. Like, I was thinking of driving to Yuba City, and I was like, well, I could die because of that stupid decision in the rain. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I don't want to do that, so I just called Rebecca and changed, freed
Smart.
myself of that particular potential consequence. And that
You
relaxed.
can't lose if you don't roll the dice, so.
Yeah, so a lot of what you're aware of is consequences too.
Mm-hmm.
because this is in a very strong elevated position here. That's a peak of awareness of consequences. And
It's funny how your Cancer symbols looks like this money symbol, kind of.
this Cancer symbol?
The 69 looks like when I'm recording it here, looks like a money symbol. It was just funny.
Money?
It looks like an S with a
Oh, I
line
see.
through it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What else?
anyway, let's look at
Let's
the
go another
transits to
one.
all
Yeah.
all this stuff. And where's the focus right now? December 13th. That is today. That's weird. I must have been telling this thing to put in aspects, but so we talked about this Mars going over your Venus. There's a lot of energy around the heart and relationships right now. Like, got to choose apparently what you want, and
I have to choose?
might have to choose.
No.
You want them all.
Well, they have to choose.
Well,
It's
exactly,
never
that's-
up to the guy. It's
No,
up
it's
to the
not.
woman.
Yeah,
It's
and
always
that's
up
why
to
the
the
Mars
woman.
is over here.
The women have to choose.
Yeah, the women have to choose
Let's
because
see
the
who
Mars is over
chooses.
here. Who wants your heart?
Let's
You know what I mean?
choose. Let's see who chooses.
Who wants
Okay,
your
how
heart?
about that? It's always up to the woman.
It is. I agree. Totally agree. I told that to my girlfriend. It's up to you.
Yeah,
I don't know why you'd want me, but
yeah.
apparently you do. So there you go. It's your choice. I'll definitely say yes. Okay, so what's going on right now here? Besides that, there's all kinds of things going on here. A lot of movement going on here.
What pops out? What screams to you here?
Screaming.
What do you see when you first?
Well, it's the same
what do you
stuff
notice?
I mentioned. The Jupiter return. It's
Sure.
the end of a belief system,
It is the end of a belief system.
and you have to figure out.
You said Jupiter return?
Yeah, Jupiter's returning. There's Jupiter.
I thought you said Saturn return.
Well, both.
Oh yeah, Saturn and
So
Jupiter.
you
You
got-
know, it's funny you say that because there's a Jupiter agreements. Dr. Michael Sala is talking about the Jupiter agreements that they're making on Ganymede and the moon. You got to see that video.
See, here's Saturn, and every
Uh-huh.
29 years, Saturn comes around. There they are. Saturn already returned.
Where's Jupiter?
Jupiter's right here.
Point
right
with
here,
your finger.
there and there.
Okay.
So Jupiter is about Saturn already returned. Jupiter is about.
Oh, I see
to
Jupiter.
return. That's Jupiter.
Yeah,
See? Same
the
thing.
4 symbol. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a bent 4, and that means beliefs. And so some things you believe